This is Jordan from Guns and Cars. Today I want to talk about, is the 3-valve Mustang GT a good car? In general, yes, the short answer I would say yes. But there is some things that you need to know when having a car like this. First, I want to talk about is the reliability and gas mileage. Yes, it's great. The car is very reliable for as long as I've had it, and going on from the year of this actual car is about 15 years now. So I'd say, yeah, it's a good, reliable car still on the road today. This particular car has been in an accident in the past, and it's been fixed. So, that's just more good things going on to it. So the next thing I want to talk about is that this car is a great car because there's so many aftermarket things you can do to the cars. You can lower it, you can change the whole body style. There's a huge aftermarket on the 3-valve or in the S197 platform in general. And these, you can't really beat the retro look and styling of the car. Obviously there's lots of aftermarket wheels you can put on these, but right now it's cruising on some 2015 Mustang GT wheels as well. And the styling just never gets old. The next thing is the visibility out of the windshield and glass. For a sports car and a muscle car, it has great visibility. You can see right through. There's not really too many blind spots except for these little side windows. So if you had this covered, you wouldn't be able to see out of this side, and this is actually a blind spot to the car because it's right there near the wheel. So it's just something to note. Rear window has great visibility, no problem unless you had it covered with window louvers as well. And the last thing, the trunk area space, perfect for if you had to haul around golf clubs or anything big. You have plenty of space to do so. The rear seats do fold down, so you have extra space. And as you can see, you have plenty of space for all sorts of junk you can fit back here. And my favorite part, the next thing I want to talk about is the 3-valve 4.6 liter V8 engine that Ford produced. And it makes 300 at the crank and 320 at torque at the wheels. Yes, 3-valve is in the name. It has 3 valves per cylinder, as we all know. And there's a lot of controversy on these engines. You can make some good power on the stock block. There's a lot of people that say you can't, but you can make at least, I'm going to say, at least 500 horsepower on the stock bottom end without grenading the engine. Maybe 10 more on top of that at the very maximum. But you can still make a good street car with 500 horsepower. That doesn't sound like a lot during today's age of 700 horsepower, 800 horsepower muscle cars these days, but for the street where you can actually drive the car and enjoy it, 500 horsepower is going to be plenty for you guys. So you don't have to worry about that. You can just mod it, boost it, throw some bolt-ons. Note, most cars or older cars, newer cars, it seems like you can add like long tube headers and get 60 horsepower, or, something pretty intense like that, full exhaust. With these cars, you can maybe full bolt-ons add up to, I'm going to say 80 to 90 or maybe even 100 extra horsepower if you go full send on that. So it's your choice. It's very expensive to do it that way. So if I was you, I would just start with intake, exhaust, maybe mess with the suspension a little bit, get this thing to hook, and change up your sway bars, suspension, lowering springs, shocks and struts and stuff, so this thing can actually handle instead of rocking like a boat on corners. That's how I would approach that. The crazy part that I like about this car is you do actually have some decent visibility out of the windshield and all the windows around the car. The only part that I can see that would be an issue is if you get these window louver things that have like the vents in this area. They look cool, but this is a blind spot if it's covered. So usually I look at, when I'm about to change a lane, I've noticed that I look out the side window to see if there's a car in this area, because you might not be able to see if this is covered. So just something to watch out, guys. And my friend also had some window louvers for the rear one, and he said it was very difficult to see at nighttime, especially out of the big window here. So it's just something to note. Maybe think twice before doing that. It's kind of a safety thing. But really up to you. Whatever your preference is, this car is meant to be built. It's meant to be played with, and it's supposed to be a car you can make your own. That's the best part about Mustangs. There's usually no similar two cars. They're all unique in their own ways. That's why I love it so much. So the quick answer is yes. This car makes a great car, a great daily driver. One other thing I wanted to note is that fuel mileage, if you are going to daily this thing, it's not great for road trips, I would say. I went from, I live in Texas, so I went from Dallas to Odessa a couple times, and I paid a lot in gas. It's not really the economy of it, it's more like the range of the fuel tank, I think. The tank on these seems to be pretty small, so I had to fill up every, I want to say 250 miles, maybe 300 miles. It sounds okay, but when you're doing a huge road trip like that, that's maybe a 5 hour trip to there and back. So, you know, that's a lot of fuel I spent on that road trip. So, just a note to jot down on that. So, I hope you guys like the content. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.